And we begin with breaking news in Albany, where the governor's top aide, Secretary Melissa DeRosa, has resigned. In a statement obtained by 13 WHAM News, DeRosa says the past 2 years have been emotionally and mentally trying. She calls the past 10 years serving New Yorkers the honor of her life. However, there is no mention of the governor in DeRosa's statement. Her resignation comes as Governor Cuomo faces mounting calls for him to step down. Meantime, Executive Assistant Number 1 spoke publicly, giving a Judiciary Committee more to consider when they meet about the possible impeachment of Governor Cuomo tomorrow morning.
What he did to me was a crime. He broke the law.
Brittany Commisso says she was groped by the governor inside the executive mansion. Good evening, I'm Dan Schrack. Commisso's claims were disputed by the governor's legal team on Friday, just hours after she filed a criminal complaint, and days after the AG's report was released. Investigators said Cuomo sexually harassed female employees, including Commisso. In an exclusive interview with CBS This Morning and the Albany Times-Union, Commisso shared her story.
Then they started to be hugs with kisses on the cheek. And then there was at one point a hug. And then when he went to go kiss me on the cheek, he quickly turned his head and he kissed me on the lips.
Commisso also says the governor touched her backside and groped her breast. The governor has denied these accusations. Commisso's full interview will air tomorrow, just hours before the Assembly Judiciary Committee considers articles of impeachment against Governor Cuomo. The committee has given his legal team till end of business Wednesday to submit any evidence in his defense.
School district ready to reopen schools 5 days a week and making masks a requirement for all.
It gives me that reassurance to knowing that my children are protected and other children are protected as well.
And good evening, I'm Jenny Ryan. Doug is off. Rochester is the first school district in the area to announce its reopening plan. It comes just one day after the state said it would not release COVID guidance. As Tyler Brown found out, other districts are working on their plans and could have them next week. Tyler?
Yeah, Jenny, many districts are working on safety rules based on their own communities, with the city announcing some of its plans tonight. Other districts tell me they aren't too far behind. William Hucks suffers from several underlying ailments. He is a father of 4 kids in the Rochester City School District. Before today, his kids returning to school in person left him worried. But now, with the district announcing a mask mandate for all students and faculty, he feels a sigh of relief.
And I'm glad they made that decision. It gives me that assurance to knowing that they're well protected.
Their plan also includes distancing in the classroom and lunchrooms, and parents will be asked to screen for COVID symptoms before school. Rochester mom Farasa Brown says she still has concerns.
I don't know if everything's going to continue on. Like right now they're saying this in September. Who knows what the risks are going to be by the time December hits.
With the state no longer issuing COVID guidance, districts are turning to local health departments to help them make the best decision for their community.
We are much more pragmatic and practical at the local level around what the actual situation dictates. I am confident that, that all of our superintendents around our region will work with their county departments and will put together a plan to bring kids back in September.
There is a lot of work to prepare schools and classrooms for a world where COVID cases are increasing. Rochester teacher Jason Valenti says he is happy his district decided to follow CDC recommendations so closely.
When it comes to something like a life-threatening disease, I suppose there is a sense of relief that you're going to err on the side of caution.
RCSD says it's planning to announce its reopening plans in even more depth to parents by August 21st.
Tomorrow is a big day at the Canadian border. Fully vaccinated Americans and permanent residents will be allowed to enter the country for non-essential travel. As 13 WHAM's Natalie Kutchko tells us, some are already planning to reunite with their family. Natalie?
Dan, the border will reopen to Americans who have been fully vaccinated for at least 14 days. Now, we spoke with an Ontario native who now calls Rochester home. Because she's originally from Canada, she's been able to see her family members twice now. But she admits the process to get there is not so simple. With the Canadian border reopening Monday, many families are anxious to see their loved ones or simply take a trip. For Jennifer Green Wilson of Rochester, her story is a bit different.
The guy at the border said, "So show me your test results." And I said, "Well, they haven't quite been uploaded. They should be uploaded any minute now."
Jennifer's mother and sister live near Cambridge, Ontario. A Canadian born and raised, she was able to visit her family in June once restrictions lifted, with proof of vaccination and a negative COVID test. On her first visit, she was turned away, as the test results hadn't posted in time.
But at one point, I just kind of said, "Look, I'm just trying to get across the border to see my mom." It's actually going to make me tear up right now, and I did get teary-eyed, and the immigration person just said, "You and a million other people every single day." I mean, she was very nice about it, but this is what they were dealing with every single day at the border.
Eventually, Jennifer was fortunate enough to see her relatives, but the long months in between, she says, grew tougher, forcing the family to get creative to stay in touch.
The puzzles, definitely I'd be mailing puzzles. My sister and my mom will send pictures when they finish the puzzles. My mom has been saying that she's enjoyed doing puzzles related to sort of memories that we've created together. And so that's been a connection.
As eligible travelers make their way to the border this week and in the weeks to come, she recommends budgeting extra time and obey the rules. Border officials are also asking travelers to download an app called ArriveCan to fill in their information.
You really have to pay attention to the process. They're not going to shortcut. You need to do those details. If you don't take care of and supply your vaccination card and everything else that they ask for, you won't get across.
And a reminder, fully vaccinated travelers must provide a negative COVID test taken 72 hours before their arrival to Canada.